Yes, it's the 14th today, the 14th of the 10th, 14. I don't know, that's some sort of auspicious date, or maybe it's not. Delighted to welcome Alison Henderson to me, a geologist of the bigger things, not the sort of macro geology of what makes up the rocks, but you're with the Mourne Cooley Gullion organisation, funded by Muir and Mourne Council through Europe, isn't that right?
That is right, yes.
And we have a reason to celebrate just today, the celebration being that the Ring of Gullion has been selected on its own merit as one of the most important geological sites in the United Kingdom.
Yes, it's made it into the top 100 geosites in the UK. So a geosite is a place that has an important geological story to tell, or has something that you can't find anywhere else. So the Ring of Gullion was the first documented and recorded ring dike in the world, I think.
My goodness.
Correctly.
And what is, to tell the folk, remind them perhaps, because we have had Siobhan, your colleague Dr. Siobhan Power, with us, but she would have told them, but remind them of a ring dike. What is a ring dike?
A ring dike is whenever you get, you have a magma chamber and the rocks collapse.
It's magma chamber, bubble. So there's a crust on it, and it's bubbling underneath it.
Molten rock underground.
Bum.
This is the way I understand it, and hopefully I won't get this wrong. So the rocks on top fall down into the magma chamber, and then the magma escapes out around in a ring around.
I think you got it. Well, it's either that, it's either that or a meteorite. No, I think a meteorite is probably
definitely not that one. No,
no, not on this occasion. So it's important and it's valued, and it's so successful because more and more people are going up there to see it. Mm-hmm. Is it intelligent tourism, or is it just people going for ice lollipops?
I think it's a bit of both, because we have seen an increase in geologists coming into the area to study. Siobhan's been working hard with universities in the UK and Ireland to promote the area for fieldwork. But you also, if you go there in the weekend, especially if there's a special event on, the place is absolutely heaving with families and people out walking their dogs, and it's got something for everyone. You know, if you just want to go for a lolly and a walk in the forest, you know, it's got that. It's got this award-winning play park. It's got a fantastic cafe.
It has, of course. Graham Finnegan down there, grounded. The people coming in, the geologists coming in. Geologists will always maybe take something out with them, a little rock or something. Do you encourage that or discourage that?
No, we would tend to discourage it. Leave
your hammers at home.
Yes, leave your hammers at home. That way, you know, it's there for everyone to enjoy. Yeah. There are certain places where, like at Whitestown Beach, where we would let people take one fossil away. Maybe, you know.
Where do we get fossils? You told me a moment ago about fossils in England, and I'm fascinated with fossils because I love reaching back into prehistory, and I love the notion of going beyond the horizon of the ordinary, going away beyond the stars. This really excites me, but I never have thought we could get many fossils in Northern Ireland.
Oh, we do have a few sites. The main ones we have here are Carboniferous fossils, so they are before the time of the dinosaurs, back when Ireland was a lovely tropical sea.
My goodness.
And the main site is Whitestown Beach on Cooley.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go
down at Whitestown, just down the road.
Just down the road. Or the other one is out at Soldiers Point there in Cranfield Beach. Yeah. It's only a very small outcropping, so you'll get most of them at Whitestown. You can find them in the bedrock. That's the rock that hasn't been broken up. It's the solid rock. And you can also find them in the grey cobbles, which are the rounded stones on the beach. So you're looking for little white patterns.
I've often seen on those stones, like a little, it's almost like an imprint. It's not raised, but it's a design in the stone. Yeah. Like a little nematode or whatever one calls them, the little wormy thing. Mm-hmm. Is that a fossil?
Those are probably, well, you get on the top, you get like little white calcite formations, which is a modern worm. It makes itself like a little cast to protect itself. But actually in the rock itself, you'll see little white patterns. Quite often you'll see ladders, which are crinoids, which are a close relation to the starfish. They've got the common name of sea lily, and they would grow up on a stalk and have little arms that they wave around to catch their food.
I used to love what do they call them? The sea urchins. They
Yeah.
could move along and whatever. And then the scallops that you saw in the ocean, they would suddenly take off and boom,
Oh,
boom,
yeah.
boom, boom, boom. They would fly along and
Yeah.
escape the pan that night. They were always very fortunate. But you like you have the notion of a fondness for oceans and
I do
where
indeed,
oceans
yes.
collide. And we had
Yes.
something like that, 2 oceans
Yes.
in this area.
Yes,
What's the explanation of that?
a long time ago in the Silurian, Ireland used to be split in two.
I love the way you say that. A long time ago in the Silurian. What in God's name is the Silurian?
Sorry, the Silurian is a geological period, so it's roughly, well, our rocks are about 420 million years old. I can't remember off the top of my head the exact dates of the Silurian period. It's around then. So that was when Ireland was split in two. We were split on 2 continents. We had the Avalonian continent down in the south and the Laurentian continent in the northwest, so southeast, northwest. And we had this ocean called the Iapetus in between. So the sediment, so all the rocks and sand and dust and mud and everything that came off the continents got washed into the Silurian basin, which was closing. So you can get one plate diving down underneath another one. And all that sediment got crumpled up and mushed up, and it made the lovely stripy rocks that we have around most of our area.
Yeah. That's how they came about. They're not sort of laid down by volcano or anything. They're just It's you use the word dive down the tectonic plates. They probably don't dive, do they?
No, they don't dive.
It's a nice image, and thank you for it.
Yes. No,
these things move very slowly.
Very, very slowly, about as fast as your nails grow.
Wow.
The Atlantic is getting wider, is about as fast as your nails grow in a year.
I bite my nails, which isn't a very good thing to be doing, I tell you. So the Atlantic is getting wider. Have you a take on the health of the ocean around our shore at the moment? What do you see on your explorations and investigations?
In my opinion, it could be better.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't been in the oceanography world for a few years now, but I sort of have kept abreast of the sort of the issues with the ocean, and the poor thing's getting sick.
I think so.
Yeah, it's getting a lot of plastic. Plastic is a big problem. Like, we do litter picks as part of the volunteers, and almost everything we pick up off the beach is plastic.
40 years ago, and you'll be delighted to know this, that I founded the Canal Preservation Society and the River Preservation Society in Newry. And with an old friend who's now gone, we used to go and do exactly what you do with your volunteers. And it was foul then, and it's still continuing. And I'm told in the mid-Pacific there is a raft of plastic waste as big as California. Yeah,
each ocean has 2 of them. They're called gyres, so it's where the ocean current's continually moving due to the rotation of the Earth.
Of course.
Causes a big sort of really slow-moving whirlpool type would be the best analogy for it. And it just collects all the plastic rubbish. And the problem with plastic is it doesn't decompose. It just breaks down into smaller and smaller pieces, which then collects nasty chemicals like slightly broken down DDT, called DDE. Don't ask me what the chemical version of that is. I don't actually know.
Why do we do it? Why do we do this to our planet?
Well, I think, personally speaking, 2 reasons. Out of sight, out of mind. It's somebody else's problem. That and the bottom line is always we need to make money now. It's all about the profit margins, because the businesses could...
So sad.
Improve things, but they only improve things through public pressure. So if you use your spending power to make them make wise decisions, then you see an improvement.
What I would do would be to, when people are giving me excessive packaging in the supermarket, whatever, I would deliberately take the packaging off and only give you a gift and make my point that way. And it just reinforces the general belief that I'm mad, but that's all right too. I don't mind being mad for the right reasons.
Yeah.
So the volunteering, where do you get your volunteers?
I get my volunteers through a variety of different means. I advertise and volunteer now. We have a Facebook page.
And what is the Facebook page?
The Facebook page is the Mourne Gullion Geotourism. Is our Facebook page, and then there's also the Geoconservation Volunteers is our own sort of volunteer.
And what do you do with the volunteers? You gather them all, you say, yes, come along Saturday morning, 9 o'clock, whatever.
Yes.
And you gather, and then what do you do?
Well, it depends on the time of year. This time of year, because it's the winter time, all the birds have finished nesting. It's all about vegetation clearance, so attacking gorse, which fights back to open up overgrown rights-of-way paths or paths through the hills.
You're the wielders of machetes.
Not quite machetes, but yes.
You're in there. Have the swallows gone yet? I haven't seen any of them recently.
I'm thinking they might have gone, because I'm just thinking I haven't seen them in the last few days.
Normally they would. Yeah. So the next day of great acclamation will be, they're back!
Yes.
And that'll take us into the springtime.
It will indeed, it will indeed.
Yeah.
I'm always sorry when the swallows go.
Ah, yeah.
They're so lovely.
But they are lovely, but there's something wonderful about their capacity to find us again. Mm-hmm. It's a nice metaphor for human beings. You know, you go away and you come back, blah, blah,
yes.
blah. Now, what are the issues that are hot at the moment with you in the Mourne Gullion activity? Well,
we've got, it's Earth Science Week this week, so it's an international week.
Isn't it crazy? You're in here 20 minutes, 10 minutes, and we haven't gone around to talk why you're here. So it's an international. Tell me about the Science Week.
So Earth Science Week. So Earth Science is sort of an overall umbrella for all the sciences that involve looking after and studying the Earth. So geology, geography, paleontology, environmental science. I'm going to get myself into trouble now because I won't be able to name very many of them.
You'll never get into trouble in my program, I tell you. Never ever. So and how will you give expression to the week here?
Well, we started off there on Saturday. We had a guided geology tour of the Mournes, which we called the Great Mourne Bake Off.
Yes.
And then I also ran a joint volunteering day out at Murlock Nature Reserve with the National Trust.
Yeah.
Taking on some gorse out there.
What was the Bake Off? What's Bake Off?
It's sort of a play on how the Mournes formed.
Ah, yeah.
So they baked the rock that they intruded into, which is the ancient Silurian rock I was telling you about earlier.
And it's a different granite in the Mournes to say the granite you'll find down in Wicklow. I don't quite know why, but it's
different chemically, and I think they're different age-wise because these are the youngest granites we have in Ireland.
Yeah.
And I think the Wicklow ones are a lot older, but not I'm not au fait with Wicklow geology.
Tell me about the interest from people in general. Is your demography young people coming as volunteers? Older people coming? What's the story?
We have a whole range. I've got a few young boys, about 10, 12. They come out with their families.
Yes.
In fact, one of the ladies who's out with us is out purely because her son wants to do it. And she's been out more times than he has.
Well, she's got hooked.
She's got hooked, so she has.
Which is nice.
So we have a couple of young children come out with their families, and then we have a few around my age, and then we have a few retirees who come out.
Sounds good.
So we have a whole range. It's really good.
If we're coming close to the end of our chat, and Andrew, we'll be playing you the wonderful Canadian folk singer, Lorena McKinnon. She's from Canada. She's
fantastic.
Great. We're lovely. And she's Caravan Syria. That's what she's going to do. In a moment, not yet, Andrew. But finally, if I want to find
can I quickly tell you what the different events are?
Yeah,
so we have fossil hunting tomorrow, 10 a.m.
No problem. Okay. Fossil hunting where? Whitestown?
Whitestown Beach.
Wow. And what time is that?
On the Cooley Peninsula, 10 a.m.
10.
So if you want more information, you can give us a call in the office. It's 028 302 56650.
I might get to that. 10 a.m. at Whitestown because we have a recorded program tomorrow. It'd be nice to go and take some pictures.
Yeah, fantastic. You'd be most welcome.
Yeah.
We'll hopefully find
That's
some
10 a.m. at
fossils
Whitestown tomorrow.
Yes.
For the fossils.
The fossils.
Yeah.
And then on Friday and Saturday, we have 2 archaeology tours of Cooley.
Yeah.
They're leaving from Bulurgan Park, and they're both the same both days, and they're looking at Faughart and some of the holy wells and shrines around the area. Mm-hmm. And then on Saturday we have another geology tour, which is called the icing on the cake, keeping with the food theme. The geologists like their food. So that's looking at how the Mourne landscapes got their shape. So it's
and a beautiful landscape shape it is.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, it is fantastic.
Because even coming back in the train from Dublin, you're quite a distance down, almost just outside Drogheda. you look out to the seaward. Wow, there they are, all sitting there waiting for you.
Yeah.
Across the plain of Mahevnera, there's something it's called. But anyway, there you are.
Yeah.
So, anything else on your end?
And then geology tour on Saturday, and then another volunteering day if you don't fancy a bus tour at Analong, doing a litter pick to pick up some of that plastic out of the ocean.
I think that's a good idea. That's a good idea. And, you know, people, but check the website. Isn't that the best thing to do?
Yes, go on the website or give us a call.
And the website office again is, what is it? Mourn Cooley Gullion.
Yeah, Mourn Cooley Gullion, geotourism.com.
Geotourism.com.
Bit of a mouthful.
There's my. Now I'm going to play you this lovely piece of music, and thank you for coming.
That's great.
In.
Thank you.
All the best, Alison. Take care.
Thank you.